Hi guys, today is new bike day, but it's not my new bike. This is the TCR SL. I've also gotten someone who is very well versed of the bike and to tell us more about it. Okay, we have Owen here from Tay Junction. Thank you, Owen.
Hi,
Okay,
Thanks for having me.
please fill me up and tell me more about this bike.
For the 10 Gen TCR, this has been in the making for a while. The previous gen was launched in 2021. Right, it was already a very good bike, but for this iteration, Giant wanted to just put all the latest things into the Advanced SL model. So I think right now, even before I talk about it, you probably noticed that finally, all concealed cables.
I think that's the biggest the biggest hoo-ha and all the attraction is here. Finally, we have all the cables nicely sealed inside. Wow.
Yeah. So it's very well tidied up over here. Right. The next key thing that you will notice if you are standing right next to me is that the tubing shape at the top tube here, right? This area has been tapered down quite a fair bit. This is something that you can only tell in person. So this is a refinement for the top tube. The down tube, easiest telltale sign for anybody to differentiate between a 9 and a 10 Gen is that this area here, the seat stay bridge, right? This area has been removed. On the 9 Gen, you still get quite a huge chunk of carbon over here. And right now, Giant has been able to remove it. Giant has managed to reduce the weight and amount of materials used on the Advanced SL version by changing the manufacturing process of the frame. Now, this front triangle here is made in a single mold.
Oh.
Right? So on top of that, they have changed how they use this cold cutting technique to cut out the carbon fiber sheets. So compared to, I think traditionally they use laser, which is a higher temperature, each carbon sheet tends to fray at the ends. So by using a cold cutting technique, they can reduce this fraying and then it reduces the amount of carbon overlap that you require. So they can bring down the weight on the entire bike. Yeah. So when this whole thing is made in one piece, coupled together with that cold cutting technique, you can have a larger piece of carbon all at one go.
Wow.
So this way you can reduce the amount of overlap required. So according to Giant, they reduce somewhere between from 320 to 330 carbon pieces on the 9 Gen version. Now the 10 Gen version is 270 pieces.
Ooh.
Yeah. So by doing all that, they managed to reduce the weight while maintaining the stiffness. So when you do that, technically the stiffness to weight ratio went up. But not to say that the whole bike will be less comfortable to ride, because I think Giant thinks that it's stiff enough, but we don't mind a lighter bike, of course.
Okay, definitely. Which is why when we actually carry the bike, you don't really feel a stark or significant difference in the weight. But yeah, I was just curious how they actually improve the stiffness, and now that you explain it, it's much more clearer. So other than the frame, I mean the carbons itself, what other goodie or what other upgrades are we getting here from this bike?
Okay, so some of the tubing shape that I mentioned just now is also updated on the seat tube. The seat tube here, the silhouette and the shape follows the one on the propel.
Oh wow, yeah.
So they took the aerodynamics learned from the propel and they put it here. We still want to set a differentiation between like an all-rounder race bike like the TCR compared to an aero bike like the propel. So Giant didn't like go out and say that this is a highly aero bike. They still wanted to keep weight as the primary priority for the TCR.
I heard that there are some improvements in the aerodynamics as well. Well, can you point it out to me? Because I know how well this bike climbs. But in terms of the aerodynamic features, what actually has been done to make it more aero now?
Apart from the tubing change to make it more aero, right now everybody is trying to follow the trend of going narrower, right? To make the rider more aerodynamic. So new for this year is that the handlebars that come with the TCR, they are actually flat, meaning the top is narrower than the bottom.
Oh.
So this puts you in a more aerodynamic position where at the top, right? And when you want to sprint, it's kind of more natural to just drop your hands down. And the bars are waiting for you on the outside, I might say. This gives you the best of both worlds. You are able to go more aero into the aero tuck position, right? And at the same time still have the wide stance when it comes to sprinting.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's just me or I know it's just in my head or what, but it seems like now the bike looks like there's less surface area when I'm looking at this angle. It looks like I'm looking at a very slim bike. Is there anything done to the surface area as well?
The head tube here, there is some slight changes, but I wouldn't say that it was a very big change compared to the old one. Maybe it's just the cable housing that's
the cable
creating
housing, yeah.
some kind of illusion effect. Since now that it's all
Right,
concealed.
it's also neat
Yeah.
without the cables. Oh my god, you guys will love it. And how about the tire clearance here?
So the tire clearance previously was recommended up to about 30 mm.
Okay.
Right, some guys might have gotten a wider one on, but now it's advertised as 33 mm.
Ah,
So
okay.
you can go even wider on it.
All right, so we can go wider than before. How about these Cadex tires here?
This one here is actually the Cadex Race GC tires. GC, which stands for General Classification,
Okay. Oh,
apparently,
okay.
according to the guys from Cadex. So it can't really be seen on the outside, but at the turning points where your tire bends, the area where it touches the ground, there's actually a triangular knot inside. If you cut open the tire and see the cross section, there's a triangular knot, and that sort of gives more support when you're cornering on the tire.
Ah,
Yes. Apart from the frame, the next change that you will see here is that the wheels, the Cadex 40 Max. So this one is the latest addition to the Cadex family. And what makes this wheel so special compared to its predecessors like the Cadex 50 Ultra, which is more for aero days, flat terrain, compared to the Cadex 36, which is more for climbing.
I have noticed this one difference, and that is the hub the hub and the spoke is actually quite it looks quite unique now, quite special. It is integrated. We don't see any more junky things, the J hook or the straight pull anymore. This whole piece is being integrated here.
Yeah, correct. So if for those who are eager eye who didn't see a close up before this, you notice that the hub flange and the spokes, they're actually a single piece of carbon.
Right.
And then they are bonded together with the aluminum shell of the hub. So by doing this, we reduce weight. And this wheel set here comes in at about 1249 or 1259 grams. And that's really light. And just based on this construction, I'm very excited to try out and see how it feels.
Oh, you mean you haven't tried one yet?
No chance. This wheel set right now is very limited and it's only available on the TCR Advanced SL 0 full bike.
This is very exciting bike. Now, how about the damage? Let's say for me, if I were to get a, for my size, I think it's M size, right? So what will be the actual damage to get this bike?
So this bike retails at $13,500. But don't worry, if you think that getting ISP, you feel that, oh my god, ISP, how much do I cut? We can even throw in a free ID match fitting for you.
Alright, so for $13,500, I'm getting the latest Giant TCR SL and with a full dual Ace Di2 group set, the latest Cadex wheel, and what is the actual weight again?
The actual weight comes out to about 6.4 kg.
6.4 kg. Is that UCI approved?
With pedals on, your meter on, border cage, maybe I think we can hit the 6.8 kg.
Okay,
most
so
definitely.
we still need to add some weight to make it UCI approved. Okay, good, fair enough.
And this bike will make you $13,500 lighter.
Absolutely. All right, great. Thank you, Owen, for showing us this bike and of course telling us so many details and the differences. Let us understand more about this new TCR. All right, I really wish that we will have the chance to test on it, but definitely after you have tested the wheel set first. Okay, so see you again, Owen. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dior.